It's trailers that I picked up and don't have the zonal tag, so we manually got to put in our password,
Yeah.
and that's when you got to punch in the number
Yeah.
manually.
Right. Right.
I was thinking myself is to ask Memphis to give me a bag of the tags, and when I get a trailer that don't have it,
Yeah.
like each bag we can mark like reefer unit, the left side, the back door, the right side, and put the tags on, because a lot of trailers be sitting at customers and we don't get a
Right.
chance to get it
Right.
in.
Right.
You know, anything that I can do to help other drivers have it easy out there, if y'all will allow me to do that, I would like to do that.
Yeah, well, I think that's not a bad idea. You'd have to work with that Memphis shop. I know when we install tags, in other words, they're grouped
They
for the trailer.
programmed,
They're
yeah.
programmed, and so you have to have, so for example, if one or two tags fall off a trailer, we can't just replace those one or two. You have to replace the whole group.
Right.
Or you have to do it in a way that you align those from a programming
Yeah.
standpoint. So, but there would be a way to do that, and then just we have to be able to load it into the system and register it, if you will.
Right.
So, but yeah, go talk to our group out there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea.
As far as, I know we've been having a lot of terminal updates. I was just in Carlisle. Definitely appreciate y'all doing the upgrade for Memphis with the fuel island, because I was sending the pictures of the old fuel island,
Yeah.
and they came out after I seen the pictures. Indianapolis, that's a great terminal.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That was a
It's
beautiful
nice
terminal. I love the color scheme and everything, the space. Patrick want to know, will all the terminals eventually have fitness rooms?
I don't know about all, just because I'm not sure they all have space
Room,
for one.
right, the space.
But we have some now. Indianapolis has a really nice one.
Yes, I was in there.
We're remodeling Katy. Katy will have one, and so that's part of our plan
Right.
going forward. And as we look through it, Phoenix, that's right. Thank you. Phoenix is we're doing a big remodel down here at
Yep.
Buckeye Road.
And I just did I got a video of
Phoenix
showing
will have a
them.
really nice one.
Yep.
Yep, and so we see real value there, and we hope that it gets used. I mean, it's for all of our employees, but where those will be accessible to our driving associates 24/7. So even if you come in, in the evening, you can get into that thing and work out and take a shower, and so we really hope that they get used.
Okay. Here's a question from Christopher about, he heard the rumors that the Columbus terminal, we getting a new terminal up there.
Well, there's no plans for that right now. So,
Okay. So Christopher, there you go.
Yeah.
There's no plans for a new Columbus. Yeah, because I heard it numerous times. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're supposed to get a bigger terminal up
We're
there.
very, very much aware of the challenges there. I was just there a couple weeks ago and saw it again, and
Right.
with the yard and the space and all those kind of things. It's not on our list right now. We are doing Tulsa.
Tulsa,
Yeah.
yeah, Tulsa. I've been
Tulsa's
there.
getting a new facility, and we've been in that current facility for a long time, but we've bought property, and we're well into the process of getting that facility going. So that's it's coming. It's also
Yeah.
been no plans for Columbus right now.
Okay, that's good. Let me see. I have a question here about from George, who asks, why doesn't Knight have the shops open 7 days a week?
Well, that's a good question. We do in a couple of spots. Shop staffing is a bit of a tricky thing. We try to have our mechanics and that shop team to be able to have Sundays off. And so, but Phoenix is open still on Sundays, and so, but most places are closed on that day, and so, but Saturday, for that to work, Saturday has to be a very busy day for us, and
Right.
then on Sundays we have to have a strong support for urgent needs that come up. But then Monday through Saturday, we're going to work really hard to get services done. So when drivers are home
Right.
for the weekend, we can get services done. In most cases, if a driver comes in on Saturday, they probably aren't leaving until Sunday or Monday, so we can get work done on the truck on Saturday. they happen to come in on Sunday for home time, then we can do that probably Monday morning perhaps, and we work through it the best that we can. But really, we're trying to make sure that we support it and then allow us to manage that staffing. We'd have to add additional staffing. There's additional costs,
Yeah.
frankly, for that additional
Right,
day.
right.
And so these shops are we have such great people in our shops. They're really busy with we have our normal work, and then we have the some other projects with
Right.
with trailers and inverters, which we'll talk about here a little bit later. But with trailer tracking and inverters, and we got the cameras going in, and so anyway, we're working hard to make sure that we stay staffed to the level that we need to be.
Right, right. And the good thing is, with the shops, a lot of them you get in, you get out, and we have some shops where it's like they do a patch job to just get you back to your home terminal
Times
and stuff
yeah.
like that. And we want to know. I had a question here. For drivers that's going on vacation and the fuel bonus in that quarter prorating their miles, so when they on their vacation they don't lose they bonuses.
Okay. Well, I think, in other words, vacation probably impacts the productivity more than the fuel, because your
Right.
regular driver will still,
Because your miles
over
will
the
drop
road
back.
is still, and so I think you just have to, I think you have to do a couple things. I think you have to be careful of how you space those things out in your
Yeah.
time off, and then just work closely with your service center manager and your driver manager, on scheduling and those kind of things. But based upon the mileage levels that we have set, I think for the bonus, I think it's achievable, even if somebody takes a week off during the quarter or whatever it might be. So, but I would defer that question to the service center for anybody specific situation that they might have that comes up that they've had to deal with. So.
Right. With the showers, when some of the terminals, Fontana, because I was just out there, the showers is, I know we doing the remodel in a lot of terminals, and Indianapolis have real space in the shower. A lot of the showers now, it's real small.
Right.
And we have to let drivers know. A lot of drivers just discuss it because the showers is not clean, and we have to maybe shoot a Zonar message where they can call night facility, because I called them many times and let them know,
Yeah.
like, if the yard is dark and there's no light in the yard, you
Yeah.
can call night facility.
Right.
If the bathroom, if the terminal is dirty. Another thing that a driver did, which is, Patrick that runs out of Memphis, he's down over the weekend because he had to get an alignment. He decided to go out his way. He got a leaf blower because, we stopped sweeping. We got the leaf blower to clean
yeah.
the trailer.
Right.
He cleaned the yard up because a lot of our yards got pallets, and then if we roll over the pallets, it'd be nails in it. Do that go through night facility for somebody to clean the yard?
Yeah, facilities works on that between at the service center. The service center manager is responsible for those kind of things.
Right.
But facilities coordinates it and supports them, but I say the service center manager is responsible for making sure that we keep it clean to where it needs to be. And so if we have a service that's coming in to clean and they're not doing a very good
Right.
job, perhaps, or maybe not frequent enough, then that's something that our facilities group will work on with the service center manager. So if you see something like that, and I appreciate you reaching out to facilities, you can also talk to the shop manager or to a service center manager.
And I'll do a video, and maybe I'll get with somebody from facilities and do a video to get the email out there. Maybe get it on the Zonar.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it sounds weird. Like, I was in Memphis, and the yard is dark, and to prevent, other drivers and new drivers that's just getting off training, that's still
Right.
working on their back and not to tear somebody else's truck up,
Right.
get a little more light in the yard.
Yep, I think that's great.
Let me see. We have a question here about charity events, like, kickball or softball, terminal versus terminal, to raise money and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
guess for a good cause.
Well, that's a great question. So we do certain things throughout the country, And we are working on some other things that will be a much larger, nationwide
Right.
kind of charitable focus, that I can't really share details on right
Right.
now because it's not concluded. But we encourage our service centers to be involved in the community, and we leave that up to them.
Right.
In fact, I just saw in a newsletter that our Columbus facility, for example, had all joined together. I'm not even sure how they did this, but they had provided over 4,000 meals, enough money for over 4,000 meals for a
Right.
local, I think it was a food bank or something. And so that group had done something, and I hope that all of our
Yeah.
facilities and our service centers and our teams, including our driving associates and independent contractors who wish to participate,
Right.
do those kind of things. So, but we really leave the local things up to the service center.
Right. With things like that, events, I just spoke to TJ, and I came up with an idea this year called, I was going to hashtag it Thanksgiving night with our name, and it was going to be to raise money to help families that just
Yeah.
lost their homes and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
Because I looked at it like, I got the opportunity to be here and work for a great company and be blessed, and I'm like, I got to be able to give back.
Yeah, right.
And I thought about Thanksgiving night,
I think
and
that's a great idea.
I'll be the
Great.
first one to put up $100 for that family because, I get to eat every day. And
Yeah.
some families,
Yeah,
you know,
they don't.
one minute they got the house and everything is good, and then a fire can happen and stuff like that, and they can lose everything.
Yeah, right.
And that was
Right.
one of the things, and I know a lot of drivers want to do things like that because we take so much pride in this company, as well as the other event I wanted to do was called Christmas night.
Yeah,
And we gather up toys for kids, less fortunate kids, and then maybe a book drive. So I'll get more into that with y'all. But I know a lot of drivers here want to go to like the truck schools and talk to the drivers and help bring in more qualified drivers to the company to help us raise production and raise our,
yeah,
our overall reputation and helping the company grow. And maybe down the line we get certain terminals that have like a store where we can buy our night shirts, because a lot of drivers want shirts but they can't get shirts.
yeah.
Terminals have shirts but they don't give shirts out. So maybe we do like a store in some of the big terminals.
I think we had a post on Noble Nights a few weeks ago from somebody about the company store, and so
Right.
TJ and I think Brett Stader both are working with Kevin Clark, who manages our company store, to figure out a way to make that more accessible, to our people. And so it's and how they approach that. I'm not sure. In other words, what the plan will be. You look at what's happening in retail in general. I mean, it's with the growth of Amazon and things like that. It's much
I
less
shop
about
on
brick and
Amazon
mortar.
heavy.
I do. My wife gives me a hard time about it actually. So, but it's becoming less about brick and mortar and more about just quick online, easy,
Right.
clear online access and visibility, and then quick response. And so
Right.
that might be a better way to approach it, right? So you can get it quickly, but
Right.
but yeah, I think we need to make that a little more accessible. So
Yeah.
I want to come back to your comment though too about the Thanksgiving and Christmas. I think those are great, and boy, I tell you, if we in this country, more of us acted that way, we'd have less need for government.
Right. Because I'm driving,
It
and
would be us.
I'm like, it just
Yeah.
dawned on me. I'm like, you know what? I want to do more. I want to do more to give back, to help.
We
Maybe
could all
go
do
to
more.
go to schools with my truck, talk to the
Yeah.
kids, let the kids know, hey, don't never let somebody tell you can't do something.
Yeah, yeah. I
Go
think
there with the nice shirts and give out some
Right.
nice shirts and stuff
Right.
like that.
And again, that's all. Those kind of things are really, instead of some corporate plan for something like that, it's really best on the local level, right? I remember
Right.
I've gone to schools here before in Phoenix. This was back when I was in recruiting, but a truck was there and we talked to the kids and all those kind of
Yeah.
things. And yeah, I think it could be really
Because
powerful.
a lot of kids is not focused nowadays,
I
and
know.
there's so much going on, and they need a new type of role model. They need
Yeah,
somebody
they
that
do.
can come in there and give them that encouragement, and let them
Right.
know, hey, you can bring them grades up.
Yeah, no question.
I know everybody want to know about the power inverters.
Okay.
Have we started installing those, and what's the procedure? Is it done on the B service or?
Great question. So The inverters, we have inventory. The factory, we're buying them from Eaton. The factory is training our shops
Right.
on how to do this, at least in the initial ones, and then we'll have some good, online kind of training for our other shops. But the training started last week in 2 of our shops. They were done last week in 2 of our shops. We have more being trained this week. Inventory is there, and so we are rolling down the path with these inverters. By the way, the inverters are, as I mentioned, they're made by Eaton.
Eaton,
They are 1800 watt.
1800 watt inverters,
and,
y'all.
And they're the true sine wave,
Right.
right? So, which creates a lot more stable power source for electronics, so it won't damage electronics.
So will that allow drivers to put microwaves in their truck?
Well, it's 1800 watts, and so
Yeah, so you'll
can,
be able to put a microwave
you
in
can
there.
do quite a bit. Just be really careful about what you do.
Right.
And
Maybe we get like a guideline.
there will be, yeah.
Okay.
We'll give you some guidelines when we install it and some recommendations. And and the fact is that the biggest risk with inverters, once they're installed, and if they're installed properly, you minimize the fire hazard.
Right.
But then beyond that, it's batteries, right?
Yes.
And of really draining a battery so far and so many times that it damages it and causes a premature replacement issue. And so just be really careful about about how you use them. But hey, they're great. I mean, we're excited about it, and I think they'll be really useful. So.
Okay. One more question. I know you got things to do. The fleet, is we going all automatic? Because I know some people want to know, like, is there going to be automatic and standard?
Yeah.
Is it going to be mixed?
We're all automatic.
We're going all automatic.
We've been all automatic for about 2 years now.
Okay.
And
I'm holding on to my stick shift.
I literally, in the whole time we've had automatics come in, I've only heard of one driver that drove one and then wanted to get back into a stick shift.
Right.
Literally only one. And I've heard lots of stories about drivers like you, perhaps, that did not want to get into one, but got into one. And
Trucker
Steve was that
Steve,
way.
yeah.
Trucker Steve was that way, but once he got into one, just absolutely loved it. And
Right.
and one of the comments, for example, was, "Gosh, I got into the automatic. I was sitting in city traffic in L.A. or Atlanta, wherever it might be, and I got done, and my legs didn't hurt, right? They wasn't keep pushing on that clutch."
Yep.
And so we think there's some real advantages. It integrates better with the safety systems.
Right.
The wingman and all of those kind of things. It integrates better with the, from a fuel standpoint, right?
Yep.
And improving fuel mileage. It's pretty impressive how much it improves fuel mileage. So it integrates better with cruise control, to help with those kind of things.
Right.
And so we're very much fans of the automated manuals. In fact, Volvo, you can't even buy a Volvo. If you put their engine in it, you cannot buy a Volvo with the stick shift. You have to buy
A
it's
Volvo
a Volvo
with
engine.
an automatic?
It has to have the Volvo automatic, the IMAX transmission.
Okay.
So, in other words, that's how much demand they have for it. They said there's so much demand for the automated manuals that's
And
all we're gonna do.
and all the Pro Stars that's coming in have the Cummins engine. No more
Correct.
Max Force engines.
No more Max Force.
I know we kind of got rid of that.
Yeah.
Before we go, it just dawned on me. Is there a way we can get an owner-operator to break down how to manage the fuel? Because a lot of drivers don't know how to hit those fuel points and fuel. See, I fuel my truck like I'm already an owner-operator. I have 7.7 on my MPGs and fuel, because I just take like the empty miles, the loaded miles, then I divide it by like 7.0, which is the MPGs for that trip.
Yeah.
Then I know they saying, okay, don't get big amounts of fuel Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full up Thursday and try to just get a little bit over the weekend until Monday. So maybe can we get like a booklet put together or some papers put together to help drivers get the fuel bonus?
So great question. We have some training that we do that we go through in the driver qualification process with our new employees.
Right.
That I think this is useful. But yeah, maybe we should. And frankly, we have some great independent contractors that for business reasons,
some tips.
could have a reason to do well fuel. It's good to share some things. And we have some great company drivers. That do really well. It sounds like you're doing well. We have some great company drivers that could help too. And so You know, and then but the key is just to use the technology, and my recommendation, by the way, too, is you know, don't try to outsmart the fuel system from the standpoint of where and when to purchase fuel, because if you stay consistent with it, the fuel is over a quarter. I mean, it's 13 weeks, and it's all going to balance out, right?
Right.
Just stay focused on being productive, follow that fuel solution, and then just manage that truck in a way that will help you to get the best fuel mileage possible from this. And I say manage. The keys, of course, are you know, your idle and you're out of route, or the biggies. Of course, how you even shifting. That's just this part with the automated manuals help with the shifting, but shifting patterns make a difference. Cruise usage, using cruise. Of course, you only want to do that when it's safe from a weather condition and traffic condition standpoint, but using cruise can be very beneficial, and you know the list better than I do, Sinnizter.
Yeah,
But
and I'll put some pointers out there myself, but I think that touched a lot, because I feel like I got a lot answered for myself, because I know a lot of drivers is like, you know, they want us to get the fuel bonus, but they don't show us how, and I see a lot of this stuff at terminals, and drivers don't know what to do as far as getting the fuel bonus.
Yeah.
You know, I know you got to do the 2 safety tests, your miles, and the fuel. And the fuel is the biggest thing that a lot of drivers don't know how to manage.
Yeah. Well, it's a great question.
And maybe we go around the company. If somebody got a chance, go around and, hey, you know, you're getting good. You know, what are you doing? Do you mind sharing some of your pointers, some of your tips? Like I tell drivers, make sure your fifth wheel is properly greased, because that metal on metal causes your tractor to have to pull that trailer harder.
Yeah, if it's
because it's like, you know, the cartilage between your joints. So if you going up the hill, balance your weight out. You know, the back end of your trailer being heavy going up a hill is going to make the truck work harder. So things like that.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Now on the bonus, you know, one of the most encouraging things to me overall about the bonus is last quarter, 80% of our drivers received some kind of bonus.
Right.
Some kind, meaning one component or multiple or whatever it might be. 80% of our drivers receive some payout from a bonus standpoint. That is so exciting to me. This bonus plan is structured in a way that it is a win-win. It is a win for our drivers to make
extra money they can have.
And it's a win for the company, because
we're
more productive,
less expense,
and it is a win-win. And you know, in an ideal world, every driver would get all of the bonus money, because you know, that's really what we work towards. And so, just work really closely with your driver manager to know where you're at. Look at the online information, and boy, just do your best to get those bonuses, because our goal is to pay it. I mean, we want to pay it.
Yeah, because if we do good on our fuel, then the money that extra expense from us not managing fuel, you can take that extra, you know, like, okay, everybody did good, we got a little surplus here. You can take that little bit of surplus and say, hey, you know what? Let's go get another trailer. You know, let's go get, you know, let's put this money to this and get back to the drivers with this.
Right.
So that's the important thing that, you know, and that's why I want to get out there the things that drivers can do, because the more productive we are, the more we can help save the company money. We can take money and start getting better trailers, better equipment, better facilities.
Yeah, it is such a win-win for sure if we do it that way. And and for all of that, Sinnizter, you know, we work for a great company. I mean, we work for a great company. We buy our trucks brand new. We buy the trailers brand new. We keep them. You know, our average age is by far better than the industry average. It's not even a close comparison. And you know, we work really hard to maintain them and to and do those kind of things. And we know there's room to improve, but boy, aren't we grateful for what we have. And hey, it is such a team effort. I know I said that before, but it's just such a team effort between our driving associates, our non-drivers, our mechanics, and everybody. And you know, this whole company, whether you're on the night drive-in side, you're on the night refrigerated side, the night port services side, or SAPA, these dedicated kind of accounts, at the end of the day, we're Knight, right?
At the end of the day,
At
yep.
the end of the day, we're Team KNX. That's the stock symbol, right? So
Yep.
it's
I checked it out.
yeah, and so boy, just realize that, and boy, take pride in what you do. Take pride of the company that you work for, and I love it when we're going down the road and I see drivers wave to each other, you know, and
Yep.
and you know, all those kind of things, and it's just who we are.
Yeah.
And it's a special place to be, and we you know, we appreciate what everybody does. So
We appreciate all the remodeling and everything y'all doing to make it more home for us, more convenient for us. Because a lot of us is out here for a long time.
I
And
know.
a lot of people go home at the end of the day out of the office. But we definitely appreciate it. I'm going to continue to do my best to inspire drivers to be better and bring in more drivers. And I'm going back into training
Good.
so I can
Yeah.
give us more quality drivers. And any drivers out there that want to get together with me with the fuel so we can help other drivers get their fuel bonus, I'm open. You can reach me on Facebook or hit me on, see me at a terminal. I'm waving to all my night drivers. I don't care what color your K is. I appreciate everybody doing what they do to help move our company forward, and we all got to get together. And at the end of the day, we all united.
Yep.
Kevin Quast,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
This man is great right
Appreciate
here.
you. Appreciate you there, brother.
Come by, say hi to him. And
Anytime.
anytime. Thanks, guys. We talk to y'all later.
I remember the fade